Right. Good morning. Today we're going to be talking about opportunities and the checklist within opportunities. Is anybody using those yet? No? Okay. Well, let's go right over there. If you're following along, do you guys know how to split your screen if you're using one screen? You drag to the left and it'll split you. And then you drag to the right and it'll split you in half. And then you can look at mine and also you can see yours. Does that make sense to everybody else? Okay. All right. So we're going to go ahead and log into Command. We're going to head over to Opportunities. And then we're going to go over how to add the checklist in your opportunities just so that you can click those off when you are needing to know what you're going to do for your client in the middle of a transaction and at what stage. So right now we are going to go in and add a opportunity and we're going to make it a listing opportunity. So you click create opportunity and then these four required fields, get those right now because you cannot change these four later. So your market center, the opportunity type, which client you're using, and who owns the opportunity. So we have the market center, the opportunity type, and the client, which also has to be in your contacts. And then the co-seller also has to be in your contacts. Once you get all this information filled in, you want to click create. Oop, forgot to put in the commission. And this commission rate is going to be only for your one side. So if this is the listing side, it's only the commission rate for your side. If it is the buyer side, it's only commission rate for that side. If you have both sides, you're going to want to do one opportunity for each side. Do not forget that. If you're doing a lease and you have the listing side of the lease and a tenant comes to you, you have to do two opportunities if you get both sides. So go ahead and click create. We'll get into this into this opportunity. Make sure you have any details here filled out that you want to have filled out. And then from here, we are going to start on our checklist first for each stage of this opportunity, because let's say that this, right now we put this person in cultivate. I'm going to click this button here that looks like a task list with a 0/0. And we have nothing in here for our checklist items for our opportunity. And this is the cultivate stage. So when you're cultivating, somebody that you're trying to get to list, what's something that you might want to do that you add to your checklist that you might want to put in here to remember to do? Anybody know? Yes, no. Nothing? So I know that I need to get their email address. So I'm going to add that. Make sure I need to get their phone numbers, email addresses, that kind of thing. I don't want them to see that. So I'm not going to click this little button for a client update, but I'll show you guys what that does in just a minute.
You can also send them a seller packet. That's what I do.
There you go. A seller packet or a pre-listing packet.
Yeah, same thing. Seller guide, pre-listing packet.
Anything else that you guys do? I put like everything in here that I would do probably. So if those are the two things, if you're going to call them, you can put that in there. Call them to follow up to see if they've received the seller packet. If you mailed it to them or if you emailed it to them, you can add that there. And that's the cultivate stage. If you want to go to the nurture stage, you can add your checklist in here and the hot. And then once you have them under contract, which is where I keep a lot of mine, my items in here, because I want to make sure I get a survey. And then I want to make sure I get the T47 signed and then I do a lot of properties where they are older and they have septic and well. So I do a on-site sewer form a lot. So that's something that's not required and doesn't pop up a lot. So I make sure that I remember to get that signed. And I usually take this with me when I get the listing doc signed. So that's why I've created a stage here where I'm getting my listing doc signed, because I want to take this stuff with me. And
Bren,
then
I have a question. Don't they have some that are already supposed to be available for us to have in here? Or is that not in this stage?
Template. I think I just saw a template here. Give me 1 second. So create from template, you could do that.
I mean, because some people are new
and
they're not going to know what to put in there.
That's true. And I usually I've created my list, my checklist over time of what I do. So like once I go to the listing appointment, I put in there, send them a thank you card after I come back and that kind of thing. So as you learn what you are going to do every time, you'll put it in here to do it. And then you can check it off. And then if you want them to, see that you've done this for them and you're doing all the stuff on their list, you can just click this client update button right here. I guess it's not a button. You just click the checkbox, and then that adds it to the client update. And you can also set the due date for this as well. Adds it to the client update, and automatically, according to your settings, which I'll show you in a minute, your clients will receive an update that shows everything you've done on the checklist once their house is listed. So I think it's very important to put this in here just so that your clients know what you're doing. And that's one more touch. Hey, Bren's doing stuff. She sent that to me automatically that this is going out. So, and you can put checklists in each stage. You can do showing, negotiation, legacy, under contract, when your inspections, appraisal, every stage of this listing process, you can put a different checklist or more checklist items. So it just is up to you how many or what you want in there. You can have one in there, you can have 20 in there. It doesn't matter. So
and I like the templates because they give you a starting point, and then you can add or subtract.
Yeah. So in each stage does not have that available, but some do. So you can just click create from template, and look, it puts it in here like get all offers signed by all parties. Deliver option money, make sure the earnest money is there, fill out your option fee receipt, change the status to option pending, those kind of things. And these are things, you're going to really find out over time, especially if you're new, that you're going to do over and over again on every transaction. So as long as you make sure that you're doing that every single time, and this will help you do that, then you'll be giving the same service to your clients. Does everybody understand these checklists and the opportunity?
Yeah, I love them, but I'm trying to find templates and I'm not seeing any no matter what stage I put them in.
Really?
Yeah.
So I'm in the negotiations tab.
Right.
And mine says create from template and add item.
Negotiations, active. No create from no create.
And this may be because I already have some in there, I think. Do you know if I'm right, Jeff?
Mine won't even let me create one. I'm trying to create like a fake one and it won't save.
A fake template or a fake item?
No, like a fake, like a practice run. I was trying to just do one with me and my husband, like our names are already in there. I was just trying to practice it. It won't save it. I wonder.
It won't save the opportunity or the checklist item?
It won't save the checklist items.
So when you click add item, is it not let you, did you type anything in there? Like
I did. And then I push save and then it just goes blank. So maybe I'll have to call you offline.
So once you type in there, this save button should get darker and then you should be able to save, and yours is not doing that? Okay, well that's something I'm gonna have to check out with you later. So, but that's how it should work if you just saw mine do what it did. But you can add these for every stage. So honestly, I have a couple of checklist items. Mine are probably not that great, and mine are not, per stage, but I can send that out to you guys. This is for listings. I can just copy and paste it into the chat probably. If I can. No, I cannot. I'll have to, maybe I can. Anyway, we'll figure that out and I'll copy and paste it into the chat. So I wanted to show you the updates. And then when you go out of that little dialog box and then you click client updates, it's going to show you your settings, which is based on those checklists of when your client will get an email about what you've done for them. So you want to make sure that if you want them to send daily emails, you can. So you want to click that on and it's going to tell you. Now, if you haven't done anything, it's not going to tell them that you've done anything, or if you haven't checked anything off. So you have to manually go in there and check things off. So, and then you can pick the time that you want it to send. If your client likes to get up and read emails like at 6 a.m., then set it for 6 a.m. and it's going to show what you've done up until 6 a.m. the day that it sends. You're going to send it from the owner of the opportunity, which should be you. And then you can check who you want it to send to and make sure that you send it to their correct email address. I don't have secondary email addresses in here for anybody else. But if they did have a secondary email address, you could click this little drop down arrow and select a different email address for them. And so I don't want to send it to myself. So I'm going to click myself off. I just want Joshua to get it. And then if there's somebody else that needs to get this, you can also click here to add contact and search for their name in this bar. And I'm in there, but I'm not going to add me again because I'm already in there 3 times. And then you would just click your contact that you want in there and then click the add button. And then if you are so bold as to have already designed a template for this email that goes out to your clients, you can add that from designs. But right now I do not have any templates because we're going to do that in a future class and make a design for this. So, but I will show you what it looks like here. So it says, hey client or John Smith, we're checking things off your list. Here's a summary of tasks completed and then it'll put your listing property address. And then it'll list the items that you did and show that they've been done with a little check mark by your side at every step. And then it should have your name and your photo and your information as long as you've updated this information under settings in your marketing profile. And we talked about that last week. Has everybody updated their marketing profile? Yes. Does everybody know where your marketing profile is?
I set it up a long time ago. Does it need to be changed?
If it's set up with the correct information, you should be good.
Okay.
Okay. But if you don't have information in your marketing profile, you need to get it in there. And that's back here. Let me close this. So when you're done changing all your settings for your opportunity checklist, for your opportunity client update list, then you just click save changes and it'll save everything you did. Let me show you real quick how to get back to your marketing profile. You're going to click on settings. And then you're going to click on connect settings. Everybody see where I'm at? And then click marketing profile. And this information that's in here is going to pull to that client update email. So if you do not have this information filled out, let me know. And then I know some people wanted this logo. I put it on the Facebook page. Did everybody get that? The Facebook group, I mean. So fill this information out, make sure it's filled out completely, because otherwise your client update's going to not have the correct information in it, or it's going to pull somebody else's probably. No. All right.
Thanks. Mine has an ugly photo, so I appreciate the new one.
So anyway, any questions so far? Can you use the Rainmakers account? Yes. Whoever is the owner of the... Oh, are you talking about for the marketing profile? Amy? What are you talking about?
Hi. So I'm going to be inputting a lot of information and sending out a lot of information for my agents. Will I have to go into each one of their commands to use this?
So if the
opportunity
is a team opportunity, you should be able to use the checklist that you created in there for the team opportunities. But if it's an individual, and they're not going to be able to have your stuff for your teams.
So where it said owner and you could drop down, so will it have all of my agents, and then I can click like Jennifer and then it will send it from Jennifer, or will it send from our team? Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, let's go try it real quick. Is anybody else on a team?
Can I answer that, Bren?
Sure, go ahead, Jeff. you know the answer. I have to try it out.
So depending on how your team is set up, those are in the actual settings for the team. If you have all of your agents basically running all of their transactions through the team command, then yes, everything that you set, everything that you send out will be sent out from the team designation. Now, obviously, you'll have owners of each opportunity. One agent will own one opportunity, another agent will own another opportunity. But all in all, if you've got your team set up to run through team command, everything is sent and identified from the team command. It's set and everybody plays on the same page. That's one of the reasons why they wanted to do everything through team command. But it's up to the rainmaker on that.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. Does that answer everything you were asking, Amy? Awesome. Anybody else have any questions? Good. Okay. So another couple things I wanted to show you guys in these opportunities is when you have created an opportunity, let me go back because this is my team one. It's not a team. When you've created an opportunity and you can put it through these, it'll keep you on track, and they're just drag and drop boxes, I guess you call them. And you can just move them by dragging and dropping once you get them to each opportunity stage. So if it's, if you're just cultivating it and you want to move it through, you just drag and drop. If you want to move it to an active stage, you can just drag it and drop. And you want to make sure that you pull it all the way up until the little blue, whatever stage if you wanted to put active or under contract, or if it's closed, you want to make sure that box turns blue before you let go. Otherwise, it won't go in that stage. So I'm going to have an appointment with Josh later, so I'm going to put him in there. And then he's not in my cultivate section anymore. He's in my appointment section. And a lot of people, I've been getting a lot of calls like, I can't find my opportunity. And usually what I've been finding is they're not clicking on the right stage. They put it like, it's usually a closed opportunity, but only closed to them. They didn't move it through these stages. So they actually have it under cultivate or appointment, but they think it's under closed and they can't find it. So that's a huge question that I've been getting a lot lately. And I'm like, well, did you look under your cultivate tab or your appointment tab or any other tab? Because unless you actually moved it in command to closed, it's not going to show in the closed tab.
Bren, I have a question.
Okay.
I just finished a closing with a client that I've been working with for a good part of the year. So we've had several opportunities that were built. How do I get rid of or clean up the ones that didn't go all the way to close?
So you can archive opportunities. So just if you're on this screen like we are right now, you can click these little three dots on the right side of the box and click archive the opportunity. And then that'll just put it in the archive where you won't see it here anymore.
Bren, can I come to that?
Yeah, go ahead.
It's important to make sure and have a clear designation between an opportunity that just didn't go through. Say, for instance, you had multiple of the same opportunity versus opportunities where you lost that opportunity, where say, for instance, you went under contract and then things fell apart and you lost that client. The reason why that's important is because for your tracking and your ratios, your closing ratios and your lead ratios, all those things should be identified, whether it's a lost opportunity versus a duplicate of the same thing, and just archive the duplicate.
So the lost opportunity is if you lose the client entirely, not the house they put an offer on.
Right. Because you're going to make an offer on another house if they didn't get that house.
Right. So I just need to get rid of some of the old offers and I just drag them to archive. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Anybody else? No? Okay. So we've pretty much gone over like what I had for you today, and I was going to spend the rest of the time for just like a Q&A. If there's anything anybody wants to go over, if I didn't explain it properly, if you need to know what these, opportunity areas are, because we do have listings, buyers, and leases. I've been getting a lot of lease calls lately on the opportunities and leases, because I think that's one of the least things that people do. You know, they're focusing more on sales and listings.
And Brent, just to jump in real quick, add a little bit. I wanted to make sure everybody saw in the chat section, I added a link to KW Connect for the MREA contract to close document. Look under the materials tab. If you like making checklists, it's an older doc, but man, does it have great checklists for you to create through the entire stage of each and every process.
Where is that, Jeff?
I've got the link in the chat section.
It's in the chat.
Awesome, thank you. Hannah, if
Do y'all-
you're on here, get that, please.
Do y'all all know where to get the chat? In the top right, next to the little people button, there's a little box with lines in it. That's the chat box. And if you click on that, it opens the chat.
Thank
to the
you.
right.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And that, because we had a comment that somebody said, what if they don't know what to put in checklists? This is a great way. It literally leads you through contract. You get the contract to close on listings, buyers, etc.
Thank you. Dream come true.
Yeah,
Could
and
you
can-
post it again, Jeff? I joined the meeting after you posted it.
I sure will.
Thanks.
And you can get in there and create lists and templates for your buyers, different ones for your listings and some for your leases, because you're going to do different things for the different type of transaction that you're doing.
So I followed that link, and it appears to be some sort of course that I have to take.
Click on the materials page, on the materials tab. Look under the materials tab.
Oh, okay.
Does it say instructor files? Is that what you're talking about, Jeff?
The materials tab has the actual documents.
Yeah, you're talking about it says like MREA admin contract to close zip files.
Yep.
Okay.
And there's a student version and an instructor version. Are they different?
I'd go for the instructor version every time.
Okay.
So any questions about opportunities? Do we need to go through an opportunity and go to DocuSign again? We need to, does everybody, Amy, you're on mute. Yes.
Have you heard if DocuSign? Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead. I wasn't.
Have you heard if DocuSign will allow you to save templates to not have to enter information?
It's on the horizon, so I've been told. It's on the horizon. Yeah.
Yeah, I've got templates in zip form. They're great. They go right into DocuSign.
Yeah, that
So you can make the
would be-
templates in zip form and then, yeah.
Right. That would be a really good
Right.
workaround, is to do zip forms. I'm gonna call
Right.
it. I'm gonna call it a command hack.
I think of that as DocuSign's template app.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a really good way, a workaround. And then this last night, I had a few problems with people typing into the forms on DocuSign and then sending them in an envelope for signatures, and that would come back fine. It was all filled out, but the actual form is blank again. So when they would go in there to make a change, they had to retype everything. So I was talking to I have a maps coach, Alyssa, on command right now, and she was telling me that would be a DocuSign problem and not a command problem. So I've got to get with DocuSign this afternoon, their support, and see what's going on with that too. So if you have that issue,
I have a quick question.
I know about it. Yes, Kimberly?
Yes. Okay. So I have a lease tenant, and it's closed, and I realize that it's still showing in the pending. But when I try to move it, that box doesn't light up.
Okay, you're kind of breaking up just a little bit. So you're trying to move a lease opportunity to a different stage. Is that what I heard?
Close. Yeah. I'm trying to move it to close because he's already moved in and all that. But it's not lighting up when I pick it up to drag and drop into that closed box. It's just still staying in pending.
And is it a landlord or a tenant side?
It's a tenant side.
Okay, give me 1 second. Also, I wanted to mention custom tags here. You could put a lot of things in here. to organize your opportunity files. So you might want to just work on those too. They're kind of like your contact tags, but you can organize them in a kind of the same way, but you're going to need different information. So if this house had a pool and you sold it in 2021, you might want to put things like that in there. Okay, so I'm going to do a little lease real quick and see what's going on with mine. Real quick. Anybody else have any questions while I'm working on that for her?
I will, but not. I don't want to interject a question right now.
Okay.
Because it's on a totally different track.
Okay. I do. Let's see. Let me go down and move this here. So you're trying to move it to what?
All the way over to closing.
So mine says opportunities cannot be
Right
closed
now.
with occupancy dates in the future. If the opportunity has not closed yet, please wait. So it's probably, do you have a date in there, a close date that's in the future?
Yep, it was back in September.
So it's not in the future?
Well, Bren, yours is
Correct.
a tenant. That's why yours is.
That's what she said
okay,
hers
I
was.
missed that. My bad.
Right, Kimberly?
Yeah,
Was that right?
yes, he's a
Okay.
tenant, and he moved in September already.
Okay, so
So does your occupancy date say September?
Yes, September 23rd of 2020.
so I'll have to look at that separately. I'm not really sure. I'd have to see what you're doing differently than everybody else.
Offer
Okay.
commissions? Or was offer done and then commissions done?
Kimberly, can you hear Jeff?
Kimberly, was the offers tab completed and then the commissions tab completed? That's the only thing I can think of that might keep it from being dropped into closed.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure everything is done on that because I've already gotten the commission check.
And then the other thing that sounds really kind of silly is either use the minus sign to make your screen a little bit smaller, or use the plus sign to make your screen a little bit larger. I thought I lost my submit to MCA tab and I just had made my screen too small. I was freaking out. So try making your screen different sizes.
Yeah, sometimes it is kind of like if you make your window a weird size, you miss buttons and things that are on your screen that you didn't know were there. So, yeah. Anyway, get with me later and
Okay.
we'll go over that and we'll see what's going on and we'll see if we can get you fixed. Anybody else have a question?
Thanks.
Do I need to go over how to get to DocuSign again? Do y'all want to see that again?
Bren, I have a question about the smart plans.
Mm-hmm.
You remember last time we talked about how to see the contents of the smart plans?
Mhm.
And what I did, I set up smart plan for myself, and it's been like maybe 5-6 days, and I haven't received anything yet. So I don't know if there is something wrong I did or I need to do something else.
On a smart plan, and is it an email smart plan?
Yeah, I chose the bi-weekly neighborhood nurture plan.
And you haven't seen anything and you put yourself on it?
Yeah,
Is that the one that's authored by Keller Williams?
yeah.
Okay, so they were, from what I last heard, there was a glitch on that. So do you know anything about it, Jeff? You're muted. Maybe he's not talking to us. Are you talking to us, Jeff? Because we can't hear you. You're muted. Anyway, there was, last I heard, a glitch on that because it was sending out things saying, that didn't go out because there was no active listings in your neighborhood. Last I heard, they were working on that. I haven't heard any updates about it yet. So I would wait on that to be fixed because they were working on it. And you can make your own too, as well. I know it may be a little hard right now. And I know tomorrow we're going to go over actually doing a smart plan. I'm going to put the steps of the smart plan into the chat here so that you can see it. and we will create our own smart plan in an email that will go out to our clients, and it will have merge fields and everything. So does that sound like something that you guys need to do?
Yeah, I think I would prefer this way because I really need to understand what's in those smart plans, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're going to do that tomorrow. Now, as far as the opportunity goes, let me show y'all one more time how to get to DocuSign. And if you haven't connected DocuSign in your settings, you need to do that now. But you just go into your opportunity that you want to start a transaction on, that you want to start signing on. You go to the Documents tab. Make sure you pick your checklist. And then instead of go to transaction right here, it's going to have Start Transaction. And you're going to click that, and it's going to take you over to DocuSign, and it's going to start a room for your transaction. Everybody know that? Everybody okay with that?
Yes,
All
ma'am.
right, good.
Sounds good.
I just want to make sure y'all know that, because that's how you can get it. And then if you have your zip form connected, you can pull your zip forms. You know, if you connect it to your DocuSign, you can pull your zip forms, your templated zip forms into DocuSign, and then get them signed that way. Anybody else have any questions? Everything working?
Bren, is there?
I have a question.
Hold on.
Sorry,
Both of y'all
go
are
ahead.
talking.
Graciela, I have a question.
Oh, go ahead, Graciela.
I entered late to the class, so I don't know if you addressed this. When the opportunity is closed, what do you do with that opportunity? Because
when you move it to close?
Yes, it's finished, it's closed. After that, what's the next step so I don't have the opportunity in my list?
You know, it should just, I don't know, Jeff, you want to take that one? I have no idea, because I haven't had anything long enough to know where it's going to go.
I'm sorry, I was replying to an email. What was the question again?
She asked, once you move it to close, where does it go?
Once you move it to close, it stays there for a little while, and then it goes into, what's the darn word that they use for it? Legacy.
Legacy,
but it moves. I have to move it.
No, you don't have to move it, do you?
Well, you want to move it to closed, yes.
Yes.
Because then what you're doing is you're adjusting all of your graphs inside of Command. Command is giving you a heartbeat of your business. And so the more that you accurately tell Command what's going on with your business, the more accurate your readings are on your graphs, on where you are towards your goals, on where you are towards appointments set, appointments kept, appointments turned into contracts, contracts turned into closings, moved into business. So you really want to keep all that up to date.
Okay, because I have opportunity from last year that were closed and that they are still there. So that's why I don't know what to do with that.
Have you moved it to the closed?
Probably because
stage?
I haven't done the previous steps, setting everything for my goals and appointment and those things.
Well,
Have you
remember,
moved it?
Command is still is basically a young child. I would say Command is probably like a 10-year-old or a 12-year-old. It's going to only be as good as the information that you give it. So the more accurate, the more up to date, the more activities, the more information. It all rolls back to like what Bren was talking about, the information that you actually enter for your contacts. The stronger, the better the information, the more accurate, the more up to date, the more Command will be working for you.
Okay.
And then as you move it through these stages, it's going to track, like Jeff was talking, in your ratios that you can see on my screen. And then it should track your goals if you put your goals in.
Yes.
Right, Jeff? Yeah.
Yes. Very, very, very true. Yes.
And you can find your goals on the dashboard when you click the home button. And I think Michelle went over that in the team meeting, but they're right here. You can click on them for this year and this month. I haven't done my goals yet. So you can click set them now here if you haven't set yours yet, because it's going to give you a little option. And then you go through it and you set all your goals. And I'm not going to go through that now unless y'all just want me to, but unless anybody has any more questions.
I have a question still.
Go ahead, Jay.
When using, I'm trying to figure out if I'm going to use the tasks function of command, and as opposed to any other method. And so, like when I've created a task before, let's say it doesn't get completed on the day. I know you can snooze it, but I wish you could just edit it. Like if if there was something that was very much related to that task, but it was kind of changed a little bit, or you needed to amend and give yourself an additional note or reminder on that task. And my what I've seen is that that's not a functionality that it has.
No, you can delete it or you can snooze it. If you need to go make a new task, you can just create a new task.
Right. And then can I send something to the powers that be in Keller Williams to say if they can, see if they can make the task function a little more?
So what you can do is you can go to ideas.kw.com and submit that request there. And once you do, send an email to me or put it on the Facebook group and say, hey, go vote for my idea. I want, we need to get this implemented in a command. And the more votes an idea gets, the more likely it is to be implemented into the command system.
Cool.
And if you ever forget that address on where to send the ideas, right there on command on the top right-hand side next to your name is a question mark. You click that question mark, post an idea.
Boom.
Yep.
Okay, great.
And it takes you right to that ideas.kw.com. And I'm actually following a bunch of things because I've voted on some things to get implemented that I want. So it's also good to just go there and look at the changes or the ideas that people have done and vote on the ones that you want, because they're not going to get implemented if you don't go vote. Like this, I don't know why this has so many votes, because this is my least worry about command video capability. There's so many more things that could be put in there, but that has 1,066 votes. So if you don't push it out to all of us to vote for it, then nobody's going to vote for it, and it'll probably just sit there, not get it, So please let us know you did it so that we can go vote on it for you.
Cool.
Anybody else got a question? It doesn't have to be about opportunities. Go ahead.
I'm just saying I don't know enough to ask anything right now.
You don't know enough to ask anything?
That's
okay.
So
does everybody know how to create an opportunity, and everybody knows how to create a checklist inside the stages of the opportunity?
So this is recorded, so I had to go back to the recording.
It will. I'll show you again.
Yes, because I entered late, so I don't know how you said.
You go to your opportunities, and you can either create an opportunity or just go to one that you have. I'm going to go to, and then also make sure you're in whichever, if you're in your team or your individual account, and then click on your opportunity. You can also, before you go into the opportunity, you can also click edit stages here, and you can change these stages. You can either edit the stages, delete the stages, or add the stages here with the little plus button. And then you can also drag them and move them around if they're not where you want them. And then from here, instead of doing it like we were doing on the little box, you can click this little blue button and start adding to your checklist. And then if you want them in your client update, make sure you check this little box off on every checklist item that you did. So does that make sense? Got your client update, you have your to-do task here, or whatever you want.
What does that mean when you check that?
When you check this little box that says client update, that's going to add it to the automated email. And then once you click the task that you've done it, like I'm in my I'm adding stuff here, but once you click that you've done the task, the automated email will go out on your client update telling them, hey, Jay's done this and he got this done this week and he got this done this week. So if you click the client update checkbox, it's going to add that checklist item to your client update. And see here, you can look and see that you have one item in your client update, and that's it. But I only have one item here.
So whatever's on that to-do task, or that to-do,
it doesn't have to be to-dos, but most people put to-dos in here. So
whenever it's on that item, the client will read it. It's not. I mean, if you click that.
If you click client update, if you don't, click that little checkbox next to client update, it's not going to be shown to them that you've done it.
Yeah. And are there checklist templates?
That's what Jeff sent in the
got it.
In the chat box. Yeah.
Cool.
And then you can click settings to see the client update settings, which is also what we've looked at before. It'll show you exactly when your client update is going out, who it's coming from, who you want it to send to, and also send it to the assignees. Then you can also add a design, which we haven't done one yet, but we will in a future training. And then you can preview what this client update looks like. Does that make sense, Graciela? Okay.
Need to start practicing this.
So, and then I'm going to email y'all out, or not email, I may email y'all out some, the checklist as well that I use, but I don't have it split out per stage. So mine's just one big long checklist that I use for every transaction on a listing or on a buyer. Any other questions? Anything that might need to be clarified from another training that we did?
Yes, actually, if I don't want to use the DocuSign.
I can't hardly hear you.
What I'm saying, if I don't want to use the DocuSign, but I want to use the zip form instead, is there any way to link the zip form to the command?
Yes. So when you're in your DocuSign, you want to click either your initials will be here or your photo. And then you want to click that, and then you want to click preferences. Everybody follow me? Am I going too fast? Then you want to click integrations. And this is where you can link your zip forms to your DocuSign. So you would need your zip form username and password, and you would put that in there and then click allow importing from zip form. Make sure that that's toggled on, and then click save changes. And this will get your zip forms linked to your DocuSign.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Anybody else? Questions? Everything working for everybody when you go in here? Are you having any issues with uploading contacts or adding tags or?
The tags.
Tags? What about you, Monica? Oh, go ahead, Graciela.
Still showing those crazy tags there in the list. Remember, I sent you an email the other day saying that in the tag.
Those tags. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Did I not respond to you? I think I meant to.
I think someone's computer fan has kicked on. It's like really hard to hear. Can everybody mute themselves? That's better. Thank you.
Can y'all hear me? Okay. So, yes, there is a problem with tags. Corporate knows about it. KWRI is working on it. I'm not sure if they're even. I think they're gone. There was some weird system created tags, but they're gone out of mine. Are yours gone, Graciela? I can't hear you. So anyway, the system tags are gone. There were some weird ones that were made by the system, by KWRI, but now I think they're gone. So that's good. All right, Monica, did you have a question? We can't hear you, Monica.
Hello.
Hey, there you go. We can hear you now.
Okay, great. My question was going back to zip forms and DocuSign. I wanted you to kind of explain a little bit about the rooms in DocuSign real quick, because I use zip forms a lot, and I have not been able to like pull my stuff in from zip forms into Command.
Okay.
So how does that work when you look at these little houses, dashboard, rooms, and I mean, what is the breakdown? How do I do that?
So every transaction that you've started through Command is going to create a new room. So once you click that start a transaction button inside your opportunity in the documents tab, it's going to create a new room. So every time it does that, you're going to see that. So when you go to your dashboard in DocuSign rooms, you should see a room for each transaction. You can click on those. And if you have your zip forms connected, like I showed you just a second ago, in the settings, then you should be able to go to the documents tab in each room and then add documents, and then you should be able to do it from zip form if you have your zip forms connected. Does that make sense?
Yes, and I have had it connected in the past. I just want to go back and just retrace my steps to see if there's anything that I missed. I noticed that on the part where you did the integration, at the very bottom, there was an error message that kept coming up that said, pick which association. Like if you're affiliated with Houston Association of Realtors, it doesn't have it in the drop down box. So I was thinking that maybe there was a glitch there, because I would try to,
Are you talking about?
Yes, down at the bottom, on the third one down. There's a place where it says, this one. For some reason, we're not listed. Yes.
This is not ours. Don't put anything here. This is not our MLS. The only one you need to worry about is getting your NRDS number and putting that in there. Have you done that?
Yes.
Okay. And then all you click on that one is Texas. And when you do that, that gives you access to TAR, HAR, and also our KW document library.
And I think that was the issue, that I didn't see the Texas where you just.
Oh, the Texas? Okay.
Yeah, I didn't see that. And that's why I was wondering, how to fix that if it doesn't pull in.
So do you have an option of changing this? I think you can change this. So if you go in and just put Texas there, that should fix that problem for you.
As long as I can type in that box, because if the drop-down menu is giving you selections and it's not in the selection menu, then you can't add it. That's what I'm saying.
You may have to write down your NRDS number, clear all this, and redo it.
Okay.
And then it should let you pull a drop-down box right here.
Okay. Okay.
And if it doesn't, get with me and we can go over it together one-on-one. Okay.
Yes, because I'm keeping everything in zip forms right now because nothing's in command, and I just don't understand how to. I think that's probably the problem. Maybe that's why it's not linking it right or something.
You can also go inside of zip forms and connect your DocuSign that way as well. So in zip forms, you can connect DocuSign, and in DocuSign, you can connect zip forms. Some people had it working one way, and some people had it working another way. So we'll get it linked for you somehow. One of the two ways.
Okay.
Perfect. Anybody else have a question? Anything y'all want to go over? Tomorrow is smart plans. Do you know what you guys want to do with smart plans? I'm not going to do a text message in smart plans because I don't have a Twilio, but do you guys have Twilio, or you not have Twilio?
I do not have Twilio, and I noticed that a lot of my smart plans that I set up said you need to have a Twilio account in order to make this happen.
Yeah, it's gonna tell you that every time.
Okay, and so I thought I had my smart plan set up, but they weren't. And I was told a long time ago that we should just use the monthly nurture one because all the other ones were still a work in progress and they didn't work very well. And so I was finding out that was true. So the only one that I'm actually using is the monthly nurture. So if you know anything about updates on some of these other ones, like the bi-monthly ones, if they've been improved somehow and they don't require a Twilio account, that would be awesome to know, because I'm going through my database right now trying to make sure that everybody gets at least one touch a month. And so far I have maybe only 11 that actually have a smart plan.
After tomorrow, you can set up your one touch a month on your own. You don't have to worry about that, waiting on the corporate one. So I'll show you guys how to do that.
And Bren, not to cut you off, but there's another thing that I noticed. Some of them say in the smart plan that this one didn't hit or didn't send a monthly touch this month because there were no sales in the area, or it will have just expired on its own.
Yeah.
Is that normal?
No, that was on the Keller Williams library generated. So if you go into the smart plans and then go into library, and you can see who wrote these smart plans. And so I think it was the biweekly neighborhood nurture that I had read or heard that was having a glitch that was saying that. And I don't know which one you're using. Is yours the biweekly?
I think the one, I'd have to go back and check. I'm not 100% sure.
Mm-hmm. So they said that it was coming up with your, it didn't go out because there was no active listings in that neighborhood.
Yes.
Something like that.
Yes,
So
I've got a couple of those.
there was something on that one that they were working on. So we'll just go in and we'll make our own smart plans that'll give us some touches to our clients tomorrow. And we're not going to do text because none of y'all have Twilio. Unless you want to set up Twilio, we can do that tomorrow as well. Anybody want to set up Twilio, or you want to save that for a future class?
I haven't been able to verify my Twilio account.
Mm-hmm. Does it send you, I haven't set my Twilio up yet and I need to do that. Does it send you like a text for that?
It tells me that it needs to verify, and so you type in your phone number and it keeps failing to verify.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm getting it every month, so I hope it works.
So have you sent out any texts with it?
No, it's charging me like a minimum $3 or something a month.
Okay. We'll have to go over that. Get with me and we can go over that. Okay. And see what to do to get you hooked up. I've got to hook mine up. Do y'all want to go over that in a training? Would y'all rather me post a video of how to do it? What's your preference?
It would probably be nice to do it on a class like this so we can have it to go back to and refer to.
Okay. Well, we'll set up our Twilio tomorrow with our smart plans, and then we can add. If you don't want to put a Twilio, you don't have to. It is an extra charge to activate the Twilio service. It is so many cents per text message, I do believe. And we'll go over all that tomorrow.
I have one more question.
Sure.
When you're working with the smart plans, just like the emails, it asks you to set up a practice one, and then you have to wait like 24 hours before it will send.
Mm-hmm.
And so I've tried that a couple of times and I never got an email back. So I don't know if it worked or not. And I think somebody else raised that question on this call today.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm curious if we should try to do something today and see what we do today if we get an email before your class tomorrow, because I'm not sure that anybody got any of my emails that I sent earlier in December.
So I think that is I think that's when you go to the library and download these smart plans authored by Keller Williams. I think they're having an issue with those. So the ones that we do tomorrow, we're going to put ourselves on them and we should get them. It doesn't go out right away, but let me see what my smart plans say. I've got y'all on a tech update plan. Have y'all been getting my tech updates? Emails? Nobody's getting my emails?
Not that I'm aware of.
Did y'all all get my email about Dotloop?
I got your one about Dotloop and DocuSign.
That's it? That's the only email y'all have gotten? Are you serious? Let me see. Let me go to somebody that's on my tech update. Let's see. So my Dotloop was a smart plan. And if you got that, that was a smart plan. So I know those are working. You know, I may not have set y'all up to get tech updates till tomorrow because I haven't updated it yet. So, yeah, so Dotloop went out. So when you send these under the contact record, when you send a smart plan, it's going to show you that, hey, they subscribed to that smart plan, or you subscribed them to that smart plan, and then the email went out. And then the smart plan ended. So that Dotloop email that I sent everybody was a one-step email smart plan. So I'm going to show you guys how to do that, how to put some delays in your smart plan, set up your Twilio, add a text message to your Twilio if you want it, and we'll go over all that tomorrow. And it'll be just a touch that, one email, one text, one call. How about that? Is that what y'all? Does that sound good?
Perfect.
Alrighty. Anything else? Anything that we're missing that y'all need to know to go over? It's something you really need to know. Nothing?
I just want to put this out there to everybody. I did post an idea on yesterday. It was in regards to putting back the pre-listing packets for sellers and for the seller's home buying guide, because we had those before we transitioned from e-edge to where we are now. So I'm going to send a Facebook post asking everybody to vote on that, because it would be nice to have the pre-listing packets templates in the design, but it needs to have some meat to it, because right now there's just one page and a bunch of pictures from Barton, Austin, Texas, and that's really not what the buyer or the seller cares about. So we need to be able to educate them ahead of time. So I'm hoping that you guys will vote on that somebody will recreate that pre-listing packet that kind of lays out what they need before we have our listing presentation.
All right, we'll post the link on the Facebook group, and everybody go vote on her idea. Okay, and then one thing I want to show y'all, since you brought up the designs, on the dashboard, there's a little box that has design updates, and you can see all the new designs that have come out in the featured design. So these would be the new designs. Like this is a thank you. I'm sure you could do it. It's this thank you card. There's a design not working for me. None of these are working for me. I need to probably clear my cookies. But anyway, you can see the new designs right there. And I know that were you the one, Monica, doing the pre-listing? Is that what you just said, the pre-listing packet?
Yes.
So this website is the same website that you go to in Command. It's just a little easier to work through if your Command's not working. Did you try this website? WeBrand?
Yes.
And there was no pre-listing packet for you in there?
No, it just says listing and listing template, but there's no meat to it. It just basically what you could get from HAR if you wanted to create a CMA. And I'm not trying to create a CMA. I want to send them a pre-listing packet.
Mm-hmm. So yours didn't do all this?
I got all of that, but that's not what I'm looking for. That's like, if you wanted to do a CMA and prepare one from HAR, you could do that and tailor it to that person's house. But what I'm actually asking for is something that talks about a guide to selling your home. These are the things you need: your photo ID, your deed to your house, information about HOA, just a general checklist that kind of lets the seller know, here's the things that we need to cover or discuss before we get together and have our discussion about the listing appointment. And so right now,
Monica, do you have Cloud CMA?
Do I have Cloud CMA?
Cloud CMA, it's a part of the HAR Premier Agent package.
No, I do not pay for Platinum. No.
Okay. What I would do is I would put a post out into our Market Center asking if there are any general templates that other agents are willing to share. I would also look on KW Connect for pre-listing packet templates, because remember, there's 180,000 agents in Keller Williams, so it's been done for you already. You just need to find somebody who's willing to share it. There's hundreds and hundreds and thousands of pre-listing packets, and what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to track one down that you can mold and shape in a way that you can probably take from this source and that source and this source and put it all together.
Okay. The last one I used was the Keller Williams pre-listing packet that was in e-edge, and I kept a copy of it as a PDF but not as a Microsoft document. So now I have to types of things from scratch, and I really don't want to do that.
Hey, send me that PDF. I have access to make that into a Word document.
Okay.
You didn't tell me that.
Yeah, I mean, it should already be somewhere in the system, like Jeff was saying. It should already be on the system because it was a Keller Williams document that was created. But for some reason, the home buying guide and the selling buying guide and the pre-listing packet disappeared. I just don't know where to find it.
Well, send me what you have. I can make that into a Word document for you.
I really would appreciate that. Thank you.
My email is brenb@kw.com. So email me what you have.
Okay.
Okay. Anybody else have a question? We good? Y'all ready for smart plans tomorrow?
Ready for tomorrow and more questions.
We're gonna get y'all on a smart plan. We're gonna get you making your own, and you're gonna start nurturing all those clients with all the smart plans you're gonna create.
Yes.
Right? Yay!
Thank
all right.
you.
Well, unless you have any more questions, I'll see you guys tomorrow.
See you.
Good meeting. Thank you. Good stuff.
You're welcome. Talk to you later. Y'all have a good day.
You too. Thanks a bunch, Bren.
You too. Thank you.
All right. Bye.